Hey everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn. On this episode, I'm joined by legendary Ratt lead vocalist Stephen Pearcy, and he'll talk all about his upcoming live stream concert with his band, the Ratt Bastards. He'll also share with us some of his plans for 2021. As you guys know, he also most recently covered a Duran Duran song. So Simon Le Bon, if you're watching, there was a challenge put forth in front of you that we'd love to hear you accept. To all the fans out there that are watching this, I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. So let's jump in and let's get started.
How's it going?
All right, very good, very good. No complaints on this side. Everybody on your side healthy and okay?
Oh yeah. Yeah, everybody's fine. I'm just keeping busy waiting to do the show.
Yeah.
Friday from the whiskey.
Yep.
And it's gonna be way cool. Me and the Ratt Bastards and all good.
Absolutely. Is this the first show you're doing and performing in over a year, I guess, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool actually. The best thing I got to do solo music from View and Smash. So that was really cool.
No, absolutely. Now, I thought I read, and tell me if I'm wrong here, are you going to premiere some new songs Friday night?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Although we are waiting to go in and start recording the sixth solo record. It's been in the can for a bit, so we're ready to go in. We'll put it out this year.
Right. Okay. Cool. So have you guys started recording it at all, or is it underway?
No, we've just recorded demos as best as you can in every format, and I'm good to go.
All right. Awesome.
Right, the green light.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. So obviously, like you said before, Friday night's the whiskey.
Yes.
Right? Do you remember the first time you played the whiskey?
Oh yeah. I believe it was opening up for Saxon, 2 shows one night.
Oh wow.
We got the opportunity, and from there, people started, they started booking us, and then we became a house band there. We following the footsteps of Motley at that time. So it was pretty cool. And then, then you got to understand the history and legacy behind the whiskey in the first place. Doors, Van Halen, Ratt, Motley, you name it, Priest, Zeppelin. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, without, when I was out in California, that was the one club I had to go to and make sure I stopped in was the whiskey.
Yeah, you got to have respect for the place. It's like a monument, the same as Bavaria's was, or should have been.
Right. Now, will there be any crowd with you guys on Friday night? Is it just the band? Like, how's that going to work?
There might be a few people. We're doing other things, filming other stuff for ASY TV, a Docu-series on me. They're doing.
Yep.
And the show, I'm concentrating on the show. I want the show to be right in your face like this. Mm-hmm. I want to go, hey, everybody, sing the chorus. And we're all good.
Right. Yeah. I've actually had a few conversations, one with Ron Young from Little Caesar, one with Paul Stanley. They've done these kind of broadcast shows, and they both were saying how it's like unusual to not have a crowd in front of you and you're working the camera and the people watching, as opposed to what you're used to, a big crowd in front of you.
Yeah, well, of course, but you just treat it the same,
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, you did announce, though, that you're going to have a guest appearance on drums with you that night. Is that correct?
Yeah, people kind of figured it out. It was going to be, Why not? I mean, bygones, bygones. It's no big deal. Just have fun, man. It's going to be a trip. Who knows? I don't know. We're just going to play, have a great time, and see what happens. If he shows up, way cool. I'm sure he will.
Yeah. So have you guys rehearsed with him at all, or is it just fly by the seat of your pants because you played together for so many years?
No, we actually have been rehearsing and
Okay.
still rehearsing because we got the solo record.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that soon enough. Yeah. And maybe some solo shows.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So are you going to be hitting the road, I guess, over the next few months?
Well, not beating the road, just playing some shows
Okay.
and see what happens. Things are opening up a little bit. I'd like to get out there with the Rat Bastard, shake it up.
Yep. Yep. I know I was at a drive-in concert in November. There's some drive-in concerts that are scheduled around my area here in the spring. Is that something that would interest you, or do you want that close fan interaction?
Oh man, you know what? My Rat Bastards, we always go where everybody fears to go. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I've been doing it too long. So
Yep.
it's all good.
Cool. So you were mentioning before the history of the whiskey, right? And you were talking about all the bands. I have to assume before you were in Rat, right, that you were going to some of those shows at the whiskey, whether it's Van Halen, or do you remember going to any shows there yourself?
Oh, 100%. The best one, besides seeing Van Halen in the beginning and knowing him and meeting Ed, I was more of a guitar guy. Seeing the Plasmatics there with Robin
Nice.
one time. We came up from San Diego, saw the Plasmatic, and it was fucking insane.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I know that certainly you guys started in the earlier 80s, right? And then as we all know, throughout the 80s, the scene got maybe a little bit saturated. Do you think that it did get a little saturated, or what were your thoughts?
You hit the nail on it. It's quite obvious because the original guys like the Motleys, the Rats were quite right, especially Van Halen. It steered the way. And then after that, it was like, hey, and the 80s were such a free-for-all decade. Find me another one of those. We copied Van Halen. Everybody took a piece of VH, if you were from Los Angeles.
Sure.
Except Metallica.
Oh,
they went the other way and they went, fuck you. But we still played gigs together, Rat and Metallica.
I was going to say, I thought you guys did play some gigs together, right? In the early days?
Yeah, one of them at Billy Barty's roller rink. And,
oh, wow.
81 or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're talking about my show with my Rat Bastards, April 2nd, from the whiskey, and good set list. I'm telling you, we're gonna have fun. I just want good lights. I'm doing it a bit different. I want different lights, right there. I want to give you 5, like what?
Right.
Have some fun.
So you said good set list. Is there anything that you can share with the fans regarding that? Or do you want to keep it under your hat, so to speak?
Well, I'm looking forward to doing a song from View to a Thrill and Smash. It's been a while. I mean, nice. It's refreshing. Before I lay it down, take you round and round. Those are good songs. I got to tell you. Hey, dog, those are good songs too. My dog, come here. Get in the photos. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the guy's a beast. All right, get out.
Oh, wow. What kind of dog?
But anyway, so he wants to hang. All right.
Okay. So, yes.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, do you ever get tired, though, playing like the lay it downs, the round around, back for more, wanted man? Does it ever get to a point where you're like, man, I just wish I could do a night of deep cuts?
No, because somebody asked me that not too long ago on Twitter, one of those, and I went, of course not, because we're lucky to have a hit song like that that'll always be played. And the most important, it could be the first time somebody hears it, first time, just like those kids back who are talking about us now. I remember seeing Ratt in 1984, you know, with 50, 100,000 people at a festival. I was 9 years old. My brother took me, or I was 11, and we rocking. It's so cool.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always, I'm sure it's exciting when you get those new fans that have seen you for the first time. I remember as a kid seeing Ratt for the first time. It was on a late night TV show. It was you,
Huh?
Ozzy, and Sammy Hagar together. And that's the night I became a Ratt fan. I remember you guys doing, you did Round and Round, but there was a couple of other songs you guys
You're in
did that you
trouble.
think you're in trouble. And I think you
You're
think
in
you're
trouble
tough.
when you think you're
You
tough.
think you're tough. And when you did, you think you're tough. I'm like, that's a band I got to listen to.
Dude, that was with Motley Crue, too.
What was it really? Okay.
Yeah, it was some kind of late show. It's out there. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, here's some trivia about that. Oh, there were only certain instruments played live.
Really?
My vocals, the guitars, and backups. Everything else was tape.
Ooh, wow. Okay. I never.
Little trivia. Smack.
30 plus years. I never knew that.
Bam.
Oh, man. Well, I guess that's very typical for when people are doing live albums and live videos, right? It's very typical to kind of touch it up in the studio.
Ratt never believed in him. I never believed in him since day one because, like Zeppelin, who I loved, I went, they'd rather have the bootleggers do it, but would like to get paid. But I'd rather have people come and see you and feel it and smell it and taste it and fuck it and, remember it for the rest of their lives like they do. That's why the 80s, that decade, was so important. And, so be that.
Awesome. So the fans that are looking to watch this on Friday night, is it going to be like one of these things with multiple cameras? Like, how is it going to be filmed?
It's going to be cool. I want some good lights. Yeah, multiple cameras. I want some good stuff going on. So it'll be, boom, boom. We'll see what happens. I want it to be different, and I'm sure it will be. And, we'll have a special guest or two, who they might be.
Right. Well, you already said Bobby. Do you think there's a chance that Juan or Warren would show up on it?
Fuck no. I don't know. No, I be honest, I don't think so. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be an exciting thing for the fans, no doubt about it. You've also talked about more recently wanting to do a new Ratt album, right? Is that something that still interests you after you get through your solo stuff here?
Well, you know what? If there was ever going to be a Ratt record, I said, it would have to be the original guys, or I wouldn't do it. And that's a fair statement. And I think most of the guys believe the same. Just out of common courtesy, it's inevitable. There's bootleg songs it's all over. So I'm going to try to get some of these songs out sooner than later. I didn't write songs to not be heard. I write every day, record all the time, and same thing, every format. My system hasn't changed since the 70s, starting out and seeing Ed do what he does, learning from, guys back then. And then to top it off, seeing the real Zeppelin, it's like, holy shit, is that how it's done? You put that together with Van Halen and you go, whoa. And the scene in 1980, and off you go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
In LA.
Now, more recently, you just covered Girls on Film from Duran Duran, which I think surprised some fans, and you did a great job on it. What brought that on?
It brought it on because I tell a story in my book, Sex, Drugs, whatever, Rat and Roll, where I was in a nightclub in New York. It was a Limelight, and everybody was huge in 84. We were off and running. We were probably playing Madison Square Gardens. It was a party or a huge place out there. And here you're bumping heads with, Drew Barrymore as a, younger, Duran Duran, Lopper, Lionel Richie, these people. And I'm just blowing my mind, right? Going, holy shit. I know the Van Halen guys, they're huge, right? Now I'm part of the company and of the club, right? So me and Robin become these terrors. Anyway, we're at this party and I go up to Simon Le Bon and I go, hey man, I go, I dig you, dude. I go, I'm like probably jamming at the whatever, former, some gig. And he's like, yeah. And I go, can I get a picture? He blew me off. And I go, what the fuck, dude? I'm playing some arena down the street. You've already been rocking. Go, I liked you, way back. So anyway, I tell the photographer, she goes, dude, just go up to the guy, ask him again, I'll grab a picture. And I did. I go back over, they go, hey, Simon, can I get another photo? And he goes, no. And you see the frown on his face, and she's like, bap, 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 bap. And we got it. Okay. And then so I thought, you know what? I started hearing stuff about Duran Duran. And I go, I'm going to record that song and send it to him. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did.
And what did he say when you sent it to him?
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't respond. Oh, okay. But they haven't gotten rid of me on Twitter or all those sites yet.
Okay. Now, what
I brought them to residuals?
That's very true.
Making them money.
That's very, very true. Now, what if Duran Duran covered a Ratt song? What song do you think they should cover?
They should cover Giving Yourself Away.
Okay.
Yeah. Have at it, guys.
There you go. Challenge. Simon, if you're watching, there you go. Challenge.
Challenge is on. And even back then, 1984, early, it was so cool to have all these different people running around and these bands just playing Duran Duran, Motley, Ozzy, there was no Maidens yet, right? There was all of that stuff came a little later, Headbangers or something, but some of us just fit right in there, and it's all good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I just did an interview with Martha Quinn the other day, man. We were talking about old days.
Yeah. Oh, that to me is the golden era of music, right? With MTV and all the rock bands coming out of California in the 80s. I always tell my kids, you can't imagine what it was like growing up in that era.
It was a scene, dude. And for me, I even go into it earlier to where some of my friends, I wasn't really into music. I was in a race car being a pit guy, and they'd go, you gotta see these bands. Have you heard of Alice Cooper? I'm like, no. And then one day to jam with the dude, same with Priest. Robin turning me on to Priest in 1978 or 9. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And I'm going to be a singer guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I went the Robert Plant route.
Smart choice. Very smart choice. You mentioned before about Phil. What was that?
And Tyler.
Can't go wrong with either one of those, right? So you mentioned before about Friday night, the film, and that you're going to be filming other things. You've been working on a docu-series, I think, Backstage Pass, right?
Yeah, that's just starting. That's pretty fresh because it involves, a live band and more hardcore of an interview type thing setting, pre-production stuff. It'll be a few months back. But ASY TV, they've been doing a docu-series on me, and there's a few episodes done in the can. How many more we do? But I take you way back to the beginning in San Diego. We interview guys. I go to the garage or rehearse. We found people let us in, and go to the old Rat Mansion West, the whiskey. It's fucking nuts, man. So I take people through a trip, and we'll do a bunch of those, and we'll have that out soon enough.
And where will people be able to see that?
On ASY TV.
Okay.
ASY TV.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a great stream place for your own gig, right? And mine's a Top Fuel, so it's a good thing. They're doing a good bit. I'm letting people in on a lot of stuff. You never know.
Yeah,
and music,
To me, one of the cool things, you've been sharing like some photos on Twitter or whatever, and as you're going through some of this old stuff, and for fans, I think that's really cool to see some of that stuff from the early 80s time period.
It's like me finding a picture of Bruce Dickinson.
Right.
You know, that I remember that where that was taken. It was in a hotel, my hotel in Hawaii. How we made a pit stop. We were probably on our way to Japan, and I was looking through some boxes, and that's backstage pass right there. You never know. We hung out. Hey, later. You know, who the fuck knows? You know, Billy Squire running into him. It's the craziest shit you'd run into. You know.
Yeah, without a doubt. I know one of the things you posted was an early single from Mickey Ratt, right? Where you said
Yes.
you wanted imagery like Kiss, which kind of took
Yeah.
me for a loop. I was surprised. Like, wow, I didn't think Kiss would have been an influence. Obviously, you were big in the 70s, but I didn't think Kiss was a big influence for your early days.
Yeah, well, when the scene was happening, like really going 80, 81, you know, Kiss obviously was out, and Mickey Ratt, I was starting to change the name right then in 1980, even though we played under Mickey Ratt. I mean, put it this way, Doug Weston didn't let me play the troubadour called Ratt one time, and we had to change the name of the tickets, the Gladiators. And that the Gladiators is actually our street team, Nikki, Tommy, Mick, Vince, me, and Robin. That's what he called ourselves back then. We would go out and get all fucked up and shit. You know, that's backstage pass. So anyway, yeah, that that's a trip, man. So we did the first. It went through these phases, and I actually I put out a logo a few days back, and I went an early logo. To me, it looked like Batman logo, right? So, but I was going through so many phases of that. That's the first one on that 45. That's the first Ratt logo. So what I'm going to do is put them all together and let everybody know the transformation. And it's pretty much will stay what it is. But it did make some changes. I mean, I was all over the place trying to get, but I wanted it to be an impact like Kiss, a visual, not just. So when you saw it, you went, "Oh, that's Round and Round guys." You know, like you see the Kiss logo, first thing you think of is Rock and Roll All Night. You know, so you know, I actually told Paul and Gene that story once.
Did you? Oh,
it's
wow.
like, hey, way cool, man.
That is cool. So speaking of Kiss, then I know you're booked with Ratt on the Kiss cruise for later this year. Any word on that at all? Obviously, pandemic right now, but any word?
No, we'll see what happens. I'll go on that crazy boat. You know?
Right, absolutely. Now I know this morning.
In the brig.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Throw me in the brig.
No, it'll be a great time. Hopefully, it will happen. I know this morning you mentioned, you posted rather on Twitter about having a dream last night about Robin, which I thought was a really cool post that you made. Anything that you could share?
Yeah, I did. It was really, yeah, it was a trip, man. So it was just for a real quick second. And I'm always thinking about the dude. I mean, I have a photo of my studio or up here, studio office, and I always play. And it's inevitable when I write something, I know what he's writing. So maybe he's going, "Hey, dude, no, you're fucking up. Do it this way." You know, so that's what happens. I play it right away. As soon as I have those thoughts, I automatically pick up a guitar and go, okay. Same thing with Warren. You know, if I heard any riff from Warren, I could write to it just like that. And that's rap music, you know.
Without a doubt. When was the last time you spoke with Warren?
A bit ago.
Oh, nice.
I put the feelers out to him because, you know, I'm going to put this song out that's kind of cool that me and him wrote. It's actually the last song we wrote. Well, not the last one. We wrote this heavier one. This one's like kind of a ballad, but he plays so good. I just want people to hear it. So I'm going to put it out, like Reach for the Sky. You'll get through some of it, be able to hear it. It'll blow your mind. And it wasn't for any Ratt record. We had just started recording again, 97, that Weird Yellow record.
Yep.
So after that, before Infestation, I was up at his pad, we were writing. So that's one of the songs that came out of it. But it's a trippy song. He's great.
Right. Oh, without a doubt. So, I mean, a lot of exciting things sounds like going on in the world, Stephen Pearcy and Ratt. Like we started off saying, the show Friday night, right? So you could just once again for the fans, where can they find it to stream it?
You can go to stephenpearcy.beats.com or official stephenpearcy.com.
Awesome. And I think you also have some special merchandise for the show also available for the fans.
Yeah, I think I know that there is a tee, which is way cool. Yeah, something, I mean, look, it's not going to be the first time. You only live twice, man. No pun. No pun intended, my friend.
Without a doubt. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for everything, Steve. Best of luck with the show Friday night. And I'll be watching.
Yeah.
I'm sure lots of fans will be watching. And hopefully we'll see you on the road much sooner rather than later.
I hope. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Take it easy, Steve.
You too, brother.
Bye-bye.
I come up with this weird idea because I'm always writing. And I go, hey, man, I'm going to call this song Surfing Safari. Come on, baby, surfing safari with me. Baby. Anyway.
Very cool. Alrighty, there you have it. I'd like to thank Steve for taking a little bit of time out of his day and chatting with me all about his upcoming streaming concert, as well as everything going on in the world of Stephen Pearcy. Thanks a lot, Steve. I really enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below. If you're listening to one of my podcasts, subscribe over there as well. Also, head on over to Facebook and follow my page, The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. You could also follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you all next time.